Hello, welcome to Casey Mo Reacts. Today I have another project I'm working on. I have an eBay store, and normally I don't go for like collectibles and stuff because I don't really know the collectibles market that much. But I was at a thrift store and I was actually looking for like packing material because sometimes you can get like padded envelopes and stuff there, and I saw this. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And it was like there for $10, but it was one of those days where they have things with this color sticker are half off, and it was a day for this one. So I said, you know what, for $5, I'll take a flyer on it, see what happens. And this is a Erector Multimodals construction set. Erector was bought by Meccano, which was the British company that actually started this kind of thing before Erector got going. And now it's owned by, I think, Spin Toys out of Canada, and they have licensed production back to the UK where Meccano got started, but Meccano owns Erector, the Erector thing. So, so this is Erector, owned by Meccano. I don't know how to pronounce it. It could be Meccano, Meccano. You can see it right here. This is a 2012 version of Multimodals construction set. It says it's got 250 plus pieces. I'm not convinced that it has nearly all of them. I did check to see if it had the instruction booklet in it, and it does. You can see on the back here the you know, all the things you're supposed to be able to build. And so I'm gonna pop this open. Like I said, at the store before I bought it, I did check to see if there was an instruction booklet, because if it didn't have at least that, I wasn't interested. So I'm gonna slide this out and see what's in here. The parts are in a bag here, and this is why I'm not convinced that this is nearly a complete set. For $5, I'll take, like I said, I'll take a flyer on it. There may be parts in here that are like worth something. I don't know. I never played with Erectors. I was a Lego guy because honestly, the tools and stuff, I have dyslexia, I'm ambidextrous, and my left-right outputs, how to turn things, how to use I can learn the fundamentals of how to use a tool, but in the heat of the moment, my hands just kind of do whatever they want to do. So I had an Erector set back in the early 80s. I never actually really played with it, and I went straight to Legos instead. So this is what's in there. Now what I did was I went online and I looked up the parts list for this. And you can see there's in the instruction manual there's one with pictures here, which thank God, because I would have no idea what an A940 was. But I did my own tick list here, my own tick sheet, because that's how I'm going to figure out what's in here and what's not in here. Basically, every circle on here represents one of that thing. So like there's supposed to be one A371, whatever the heck that is. But apparently it's according to this, it's a round thing. Okay. Of course, I don't know how big that is because I don't know. There's no scale there, so who knows. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this, and if this is a complete thing or reasonably complete, I may throw it on eBay anyway, and this will kind of be this is kind of gonna be the evidence of what's actually in here, because one of the things that I look at when I was I was a store manager for a few months at a place that bought collectibles from the public, and something like this would have made me nervous because I need to know that it's complete if I'm going to be selling it. If it's not complete, well, maybe there's a market for the parts. I mean, like, I did not know before working there that there was a market for like GI Joe stuff and like a specific backpack for a specific character, or a torso with like no limbs, no head, could be worth 45 bucks, you know. So collectors markets are kind of weird. They're very niche, and you really have to know, at least locally, who's really into what. And I never met somebody who was like into Erector stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour all these parts out of the bag, and then I'm going to check them into the bag. Now obviously, if this does not turn out to be you know, something that I would consider sellable, like you can't make the models, you can't make any of the models in here or whatever, what I would do is if you could only make one model, I'd make the model and I'd sell that on eBay, and maybe keep the parts back if I want to get another Erector set later on, and it's missing some of the same parts. I can, you know, use it as a parts thing for that. Or I could another thing that I could do is I have a Discord for Keisumo Reacts, and I mean all this stuff, the eBay stuff, if any YouTube money that happens to come my way, all that stuff is going toward my affordable housing initiative. I'm working with another guy who's actually doing a podcast, and he's plugging into the same thing, and we're raising money together for affordable housing. So I might throw it on our Discord as featured on our YouTube channel, kind of a charity auction thing. I don't want to waste anything that I do here, but if nothing else, I get, you know, some YouTube content from it. But I'm going to start with these because these are pretty identifiable. Oh, look, that E371 that I said, oh, I have no idea how big that is. And one of the things I notice about this that gives me hope about it is that, I mean, it's a small pile of parts, right? It's a small pile of parts, but there's a lot of little parts. So it may be more complete than I thought just by looking at the bag. It's a big box for what appears to me to be a pretty small pile of stuff. So it's still throwing me off. But basically what I'm going to do is pull out the larger, easily identifiable things. I'm going to identify them using the picture and check them off and throw them in the bag as I do. So this is a 371. There's supposed to be one. Boom. That is in there. Alright. These are pretty identifiable. These would be treads. And they look like they're still in bendy condition. That's good. They haven't cracked or gotten really hard at all. Looks like that is A47. There should be two of them. Boom and boom. Okay. So we have something that could be used for a turret. You know, for that thing there. This is not what's on there at all, but I'm kind of looking at this going, oh, this is the beginning of a tank. We got two treads, and we got a swivel thingy here that you could probably build a tank turret on and pop it on a chassis. So who knows? And we got 4 tires that I already pulled out. And those are A044. How many of those are we supposed to have? Now, so far, it looks like this was not played with very much, or somebody took a lot of time disassembling whatever it was. This was prepared for to go out on the shelf, most thrift stores aren't going to be putting that kind of effort into this, so I don't know if they got it in this condition or if this was like how they or if they did it themselves. Who knows? There's speaking as somebody who just walked into the archaeology lab one day on campus and got sucked into the anthropology program by just being invited to sort through broken pieces of glass. It's amazing what people will be like, yeah, I'll do that for a little bit. It's nice and relaxing. So this is 851. Now I'm seeing a pattern here, and this is kind of a mechanical thing. I don't know if it's an Erector, because I didn't look up Erector. I looked up Mechano because I was like, who the heck is that? And apparently all their plates tend to be one specific color. Now here some of them you can see they do have silver ones, but generally historically it's been like the struts and supports will be silver and the plates will be blue or something like that. I don't know if they obviously don't keep to that anymore. A551. And just like if I was in the archaeology lab and I was sorting through like a paper bag full of stuff from a dig, first thing that I would do is I'd pick out the big stuff that I can more easily recognize and catalog, and just get them out of the way, get them out of my life, and that way I can focus on the stuff that is gonna take more time to sort through. It makes you feel like you're getting something done. So it's a psychological thing. This is 251. Is this a 251? Yeah, 251. Oh, I made a mistake. This says there's only supposed to be one 251, and I made 2 tick marks. So I'm just going to go, you know what? If you're watching this video, then you know that this was a mistake and on my part, and or maybe on the internet's part. I don't know. I took this from what I saw online, and there's the A251. Says there's only one of them available, and I'm using the tick sheet because I'm not going to write on the manual. That would just be rude. This is not in collector shape. The cover was already cracked and bent back and stuff, so I'm not too worried about, preserving the collectability of the paper stuff, because that was already not an issue as far as I could tell. As long as it's intact, that's the important thing. So this is, I marked this one down, 851. Yeah. I've done some, okay, apparently, well, this is interesting, because this shows 2 853s. I'm wondering, did somebody just get like the wrong part list when they were okay, I'm in it. I rushed this, and I may have pulled from a bad source on the parts list, but I have this here, and so I'm kind of ground truthing myself as I go through this. That's 851. There's one of those. There's 251, and that was the silver thing. That was 174. So yeah, this is 174. There's 2 colors here, silver and blue. This is the silver one. So the stuff that I'm crossing off obviously are just errors. If there's more than what it lists for something, I'll make some other mark. I'll figure that one out when I get to it. There's only one of these. This is something that sticks out because it's nice and big and colorful. A621. Let me see here. There we go. Got these little wheel hub thingies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So and those are 451. And it says that there's supposed to be 8 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me Mark those on there. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. So these are like a lot of what I would consider mission critical things. I'm sure a lot of these small parts, like if there's something that we have 60, there's supposed to be 62 of, I'm sure if there's like 50 of them and you are into Erector sets, you probably have your own stockpile of just spare stuff laying around. I was a Legos kid, and I know that's what so many Lego stuff. We actually have a used Lego store. That's all they do is sell used Legos, and so sometimes they're not used. They're like still new in the boxes, or at least they have the complete packaging. Those can be rather expensive, especially. I was a Castle Legos guy, and of course you can't get Castle Legos. I think you can get like Harry Potter or something like that still, but the actual Castle Legos series is long gone, which makes me sad. What makes me sadder is that I didn't keep my Castle Lego stuff, so I don't have them to sell. I could have gotten those minifigs. Can be kind of expensive, and I had some ones that are now considered rare. But those are the kinds of things you don't think about when you're a kid. So here's another unique piece. This is, we already looked at I already pulled out. That's a 174. 174, right? A174. Yeah, that's the blue one. I already had the silver one. I thought so. And right now I'm just trying to find matches, just trying to sort through this. So I'm only seeing one of these, and according to the list, there's only one, A951. And again, the booklet says 1, my tick sheet says 2. Because apparently I'm just horrible at this. This is, like I said, this is my first time doing Erector. And I got to find a better source for this in the future, because this is embarrassing. But yeah, hey, content, right? But this isn't embarrassing. This is content. And hopefully, the embarrassment is like extra entertainment for you. A367. A367. There we go. I got 2 of these, A271s, and there's only supposed to be 2, so these are kind of interesting. They have the, if you look at them, they have the ends. I don't know if you can see that, but there are 2 dividing lines there, front and back, and this is actually lower than if you consider this to be like higher than these 2 or lower, just a little bit offset. That's an interesting thing. I'm sure there's a reason for it, because that would have made it a little more expensive to make. The mysteries of Erector sets. Sometime I may actually, if I start finding and buying these, I'll learn about that kind of stuff. But for right now, it is just a mystery to me. And there's 2 there. Alright. And I see one of these. Alright. And it's got a little thingy on here. Looks like somebody missed that. Maybe it's, no, because it doesn't show it on here on the picture. However, I do see a problem. And that is, I only have one of these, and this is showing that there's supposed to be 2. So I'm going to have to do some further research to see just how much that limits what you can do with this. So we only have one. We're supposed to have two. And that's according to the book, not just my tick sheet. Alright. I have these things. I'm pulling them out because like two of them are colorful. So they caught my eye. And the colorful ones, we only are supposed to have one of, and there's supposed to be two black ones, it looks like, according to the book. And of course, on here, I only have one. So I color in two there, and then one there, and one there. And these are now taken care of. I got this little thing. This is a spring. A4043, and it looks like I'm supposed to have one of those. No, where are you? A043. There we go. Got these two little pulleys here, and those are A523 according to the book. A523 there and there. We got two of these. Well, one each. That's A238. And it says we're only supposed to have one of each. And that's kind of amazing that we have two things that are so small, and there's only one of each of them in the box, and both of them are here. I honestly did not expect that this would be nearly as complete as it is, just based on the number of parts versus the small pile of stuff, but apparently that's what I get for opining on something that I don't really know anything about. 419, one of them. Alright, I got a nice colorful thing here. I'm not sure. Looks like we got 3 tubes here. I only see one here though. Okay, as far as I can tell, this should be A940. The color is different, but it's the only thing that I can see on here that looks like it. So I'm going to call this a 940. I got this, and I don't know, I mean, on the one hand, it could just be a rubber band. I'm not really seeing anything rubber bandy here. I'm just not seeing anything rubber bandy in the parts list. See if there's anything that calls for a rubber band in here. Maybe I can see something being used or see something like this being used. So far I don't see anything though. Could just be a rubber band that was thrown in for some reason to hold stuff together. I'm also not seeing you see here. Nothing rubber bandy so far. Nothing rubber bandy so far. So this has like something here that looks like, well, that goes on there. This looks like it should have a rubber band thing somewhere. Showing something here. Because there's something that's supposed to go around here. I'm seeing something here that... Okay, let's look at the pictures here. So it's in the same step as a pulley. Oh! Okay, that's... Okay, I thought that these were like tubes like that or something. But no, okay, so this means they're rubber bands. Alright, I gotcha. So we do have, so that would make this the A696, which oddly enough I didn't see used anywhere in the instructions. And it says we're supposed to have a gray one as well. And I think this must be it. And that one I did see used as a 695. Alright, so mystery solved. I thought maybe we had extra just like stuff, maybe because there was only one of these and they were being used as a replacement for somehow. And then this I saw several times in there. That's a A443. And those bands are still kind of stretchy, those are still stretchy. Those are still good. So that's, of course, this is only, what, 13 years old. This is 2012 was the date on this, so I guess that's not too much of a surprise. But I'll tell you what, I have rubber bands sitting at work that are a lot newer than that, and they just break when you try to do anything with them. Actually, I don't have them anymore. I threw them out the other day. I inherited that from somebody else who used to be at that desk, and who knows how long they were there. Okay, so we got two of these. It looks like we're supposed to have two of the 233 silver and blue. Silver and blue. Okay. You can see we're actually filling up these a lot more than I thought we would. And these are apparently C088, and there's supposed to be two of them, and there's two of them. So both of these tools are here. There's supposed to be an Allen wrench as well. Here we go. There's an Allen wrench. And A136. So tools are good. All right. And then we got two of these braces. They have the things on either end. Looks like there's two sizes, and there's two of each size. So this would be the 448. A448. And then here are these two, which would be, those are the shorter ones, 248, and there's two of those, and there's two of those, so got some little metal tubes here. Oh wait, that one's not rounded. That one's triangular, it looks like. Okay, this one is definitely round. And it looks like, according to this, there may be two different triangular ones. That must be this one. Yeah, so there's two different size triangular ones and one smooth round one. So that has to be A016. A016. And then the longer triangular one would be A516. And the A317. Now I will say that archaeology lab work would have been a lot easier if we had tick sheets, if we knew how many little pieces of broken glass we were supposed to have. This is really useful, even if the one that I grabbed happened to not be all that accurate. Okay, let's take care of these other big things here. This is a A602. It's got 5 holes in it. There's 2 of them. There's supposed to be 2 and we have 2, so boom and boom. We got 4 of these, and these are the A109s. I'm guessing that they would introduce things and then never change their part number, because I can't think of why he would have these, which are just bigger pieces of these and have no commonality behind the part numbers except the letter A. So I'm guessing they just have never redone their part numbers or something, and they just had to add in, they didn't reserve part numbers for new stuff. I don't know. I got 5 of these, and there's supposed to be 5. Those are A302s. Those are all the way up here at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the next biggest one, we got 2 of these. There's supposed to be 2 A203s. Okay. I'm just astonished at how many of these things I've filled in. And one I have not found that we are missing so far is one of these brain things, which I'm guessing is rather mission critical. A304. And then A235, we got 2 of those. Got these thinner ones. A105s. These are not just they're not just smaller from the standpoint of, you know, not nearly as wide. And you can see the holes line up the same way, but they're also thinner. You probably can't see it on the thing, but these are not nearly as substantial as these. It's amazing what just a little bit of extra metal thickness will do for just making something feel more substantial. I'm sure they serve slightly different purposes with this, because otherwise I wouldn't have done that. But these are 712. There's supposed to be 2 of them. We have 2 of them. Again, 2 very small pieces that could easily be lost, and yet they're here. Oh, that's an interesting one. Just starting to sort these smaller things out now because I have to. And after I sort them out, then I'll count them. I don't count them while I'm sorting, just because one of those actions gets in the way of the other in my brain. So it says we're supposed to have, okay, how many of these were we supposed to have? 212. We're supposed to have 2, and we have 2. Okay. And then with these, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And those are A012, and we are supposed to have 11. So we have all of these. 11 of these. 11 out of 11 of these little itty bitty things survived. Incredible. Alright, now we got the really fiddly little things. So first I'm gonna see what we have in terms of the regular screws. We have two kinds of screws. We have the ones that are threaded all the way down, and then those that are threaded only halfway down or part of the way down. I'm dealing with the regular screws first because I have to start somewhere. So this says that there's supposed to be there's supposed to be 4 of the long ones. And I see 4 of the long ones. Those are the A912s. Sorry, A911s. No. Well, I have no idea where I pulled that from. Yeah, my dyslexia is kicking in big time. A611s, there's 4. Alright, so we got 4 of these. Get in the bag. I'll lift that up because I don't want the little things to be rolling back out when I slide them in. And then there's supposed to be 8 of this size, it looks like. See what we have. 1, 2, 3. See, this is why I use a pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8. All 8 of these little screws survived. A911. So that is 8 here. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and do these because they're longer than the other stuff. It says there's supposed to be one that's like really long. One that's really long, 2 that's not quite as long, and I think that's it, and then 3 shorter ones. 1, 2, and 3. Some of these differences aren't really all that noticeable unless you put them right next to each other. So we have one of these, and that is a A347. I have the A447. I see the A447. A447 is down here. No, okay. A447. Okay. Well then. Apparently I don't have the A447 written down here. So I'll just cheat and do it like this. A447, and there's 2. So that's the 347. These are the 447s. The 247s are supposed to be 3. And there are. A444. Now I'm looking. I don't see a 444. I wonder. Someone's data set was all screwed up because that isn't even on this list. So the A444 is not on that list, so I'm just crossing it out altogether because it's supposed to be the A447 and there's supposed to be 2 instead of 1. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty sure these are the 411s, of which are supposed to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, small fiddly stuff is surviving. Wait, is this the right thing? That is not the right thing. Do I have one of the right thing? Yes, I do. Okay. These are all the same thing here. Alright. This must be a 511. There's supposed to be 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there is all 6 of the 511s. Oopsie. Now I'm looking here, and there's supposed to be one that's something called 138, and oh, here we go. It's a little washer. All these nuts and bolts in one washer. Actually, there's a bunch of these little square washers, one round washer, and I found that. That is there. Okay. We have, I'm going to pick these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there's supposed to be 5, so we got 2 extras of those. Okay, those are the A259s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to make check marks here because those aren't supposed to be in here, but they are. Bonus pieces. I don't think they're fungible with the with that one long spring thing that's missing, but yeah, it's something. A322. What is the A322? There's only, I'm only seeing one listed there. Oh, I was pretty sure I accounted for that, but it's supposed to be one of these orange things. See what kind of orange things I can find in here, because I thought I had found it, but maybe I didn't. The number just seemed familiar to me. I'm just going to try to pull all the orange stuff out that I can, see if I can find it. This pulley. There's a pulley. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm missing that one too. Alright, maybe I shouldn't have put them all back into here like this so quickly. There we go. I thought so. The A230, A322 is the smaller pulley. And I do have that. Okay. I thought that I had seen it before, that I'd seen it when I put it in, but I guess I just forgot to mark it. One thing about putting the big stuff in first is then it just lets the little things kind of settle around them. And it is a peril of doing this, you know, without of course I'll probably be editing some of this stuff out. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I think that if I edit stuff, I'm kind of thinking that because I'm doing this, it documents what's in here and what's not in here. I'm not going to edit this at all. And anyone who wants to watch it to the end will just have to suffer through periods of awkward silence or something while I'm doing stuff, because otherwise you don't know. You know, it could be swapping stuff out and you wouldn't, how would you trust it? So I'm just gonna, if you've watched other videos on my channel, you know I'm not very, not all that exciting to watch anyway. So in this case, I was gonna edit it, but I'm not going to, just so that we don't have to worry about whether I'm playing around with stuff. Hopefully my phone doesn't shut off as it's doing this. Which it has done before during other recordings from time to time. Has plenty of power this time though. Alright, so we're going to go with these black things, these black cylinders. There is one green and one red that we found before. Alright, so in an act of desperation, this is how we're going to finish this up. Remember how I had just said that, you know, my phone sometimes decides to just stop recording, so I hope it's still recording. Well, guess what, about 50, you know, you saw what happened, it just cut off. Fortunately, all I really had to do was sort through all the little fiddly bits, and give you those tallies now. We had one extra of the little screws. We were missing 5 of the square little nuts. And also I made a mistake. You can see there's a still picture of the results here. You can see I made a mistake. The reason why I hadn't marked that A322 off on the sheet as that round orange thing is because I had accidentally counted it as one of the wheel hubs. So there's only 7 wheel hubs, not 8. And that's kind of a major thing, I think, because I think each track needs 4 of them. You put them like back to back and screw them together, and so basically anything with a tread, with 2 treads, you're not going to be able to do with that at that point, unfortunately. So that actually knocks down the number of usable things that you can do with it. So I'm still gonna throw it up on eBay, disclose the thing, see what I can get for it. If I can't sell it there, I'm just going to throw it on my Discord for kind of a quasi-charity auction thing, raise money for our affordable housing initiative that I'm running with Matty, who's currently taken over the Morocco Productions thing. He has his podcast over there, Matty Does Life, and both of us are feeding into the KC Mo Reacts Patreon. $3 a month gets you in. You get a 10% discount on anything you buy from our eBay store. It's kind of a clunky workaround because they don't do like discount codes there. But give us a shout out on the Discord. Patreon gets you to the Discord, and there you can and we throw extras at you there. Just a little way to help build a community and really try to do some good in the world. And so details on that are below. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're still listening to this, I hope you enjoyed it, and you're not just like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. Although if you are, leave us a comment. Interaction is good, positive or negative. We appreciate both of them. You have a great day, and I'll be back with more content as soon as I can come up with something. Thank you very much.